Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video, and oh man, do we have some stuff today. As always, when Ark, first off, this is hilarious. When Ark does come out and do this Extra Life event, they have some crazy reveals that go with it. I'm sure there will be more as we go, but man, let's talk about some of the cool stuff that is happening right now. You got the free-to-play weekend, obviously, cool Steam sale, but that's not really the big thing. Got a couple of big announcements here. Survival of the Fittest Revival mod. Now, if you haven't seen this yet, it basically makes Survival of the Fittest fun again. We'll see how good that actually is. There's a whole bunch of unique stuff that they're adding in, but that's not what we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about two major things. One, they just released this on Twitter. This is insane. This is the egg incubator that comes out with Genesis 2. Now, for those of you that have played official and you've never experienced the egg incubator, oh boy, are you in for a treat. Because this bad boy is going to make it so you no longer need to incubate and worry about your eggs. It does it for you. Now, what I'm noticing right now, I don't know if it'll work for large eggs maybe, just because it's a size-based thing. But it looks like it's got 10 different slots. And if it's anything like any of the other egg incubator mods that exist out there, it does everything for you. So as long as it's powered, you're good to go. And that would be amazing. But again, that's not the big stuff. This right here is the big stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and play and stop this Genesis trailer, because there's a couple of things. If you haven't seen it yet, this is part 2 Genesis, and it's just bonkers. It's bonkers. They release so much content in this, and I got a lot of things that I have opinions on. You can tell me if you agree or disagree in the comments below, but let's go ahead and check it out real quick. So I know you're going to get frustrated because I'm going to pause, stop, but that's how it's going to work. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it right here. Before we even get into this scene, first off, this next scene upcoming, we knew about the last one. Everything that you just saw was all from Genesis 1 being released, and it's kind of like the end cut. However, this upcoming part, this looks just like Extinction City, and they're going to mention some things about rings and stuff like that, so I'll stop it again, but notice how close to Extinction this looks.
Welcome, survivor. Enjoy the view. You see before you the pinnacle of mankind's ingenuity.
All right, so we're going to stop it right here. I know I keep stopping it, but you've got this city-like appearance right here. You've got some sort of forest and wooded area. You can see the dinosaurs exist in this area. So this is clearly something to do with the map. Can you imagine if we have, now we're going to back up just a little bit here. Now, I want you to notice that there's like people walking around. They're kind of just hanging. People are here and they exist. I'm hoping that there is an area that exists where people can just interact and not have to worry about PvP. So it's almost like an MMO style. And I'm wondering, because this is massive. Look at the size of this Bronto. And it's just a tiny part of this tiny bridge. This map looks like it's going to be ginormous with multiple layers in whatever city you have here and different biomes on the outside out here.
Of mankind's ingenuity. All of humanity's hopes and dreams carefully nestled within this lifeboat. Each of its shining rings are laden with miracles of science, nature,
All right, so we're going to stop it real quick. Now, this guy right here, obviously a new creature of some sort. What we're expecting from this mod now that we see stuff like this, more mechanical creatures. Science-based, like this man brings up. We think we know who it is. I mean, obviously we can't say for certain because they could totally throw a curveball at us, but we're pretty positive. Now, this right here, you can see it. This guy is harvesting a rock by shooting it with a laser. You're going to see him harvest this tree too. So this could be a new harvesting dino, like a harvester creature kind of thing. And it's interacting. There's normal stegos out there. And they're just normal creatures. Now, this looks like the Ark environment, and there's some sort of ring system that he talks about. Now, this could mean that similar to Genesis, you've got different biomes you can transport to, or this could mean you've got like different parts of the map that are ring styled, I guess. Both of those are possible. Let's keep checking it out.
Paradise, where the boundary between the biological and technological has been all but erased. And now all of it is mine. I control this vessel now. I command its evolution, and very soon, its destination.
All right, so first off, this looks just like the end of Genesis 1, the creature in that. So that's kind of cool that they linked that up. But are they, and here's my thought, they are going to combine the major maps of Ark with, you can see this aberrant zone, or the aberrant biome, if you want to call it that. There's going to be an above ground, kind of looks at the last scene. We'll come back to this in a second here. But the last scene kind of reminds me of a Valguero style map. So I think they're going to start combining like the extinction map with one ring. This is going to be another ring. And then you're going to have the aberrant ring. I'll go ahead and go back to this part, which is insane to me. And I just want to, I'm going to key in on this right here for you. I want to show you this guy. So you can see him right here. This thing is insane looking. So, I mean, first off, obviously I just had to take a shot of that, but look at this guy. He is some sort of giant, invisible creature that has the ability to climb, looking at the claws. Not sure, because how else would he get up here? And it's going to be really unique. So they're clearly adding a bunch of new dinos. They're going to change the meta of Ark, and I am super, super excited. Here's to hoping that it goes well. It could also not go well. We'll see. But let's check out one last thing that's a little bit interesting to me.
From there, my will shall spread across the cosmos forever, infinite and undying. And there's nothing you or that witless puppet, that shadow of her, can do.
All right, so before we get into this scene a little bit more, this right here to me is very clearly the boss battle, obviously in my opinion, or some sort of mini boss, because you have this giant creature with this kind of like zone, if you want to call it that. Now, you're also going to notice there's like one of those little head eaters or head hunters that shows up out of nowhere. Does that mean that you can only tame them in the boss fight arena, maybe? Or you have to like challenge this thing in order to get one? So it is some sort of headhunter. I'd also like to bring up the fact that this armor certainly looks different. It could just be a reskin of the tech armor. That's definitely a tech rifle. It could just be a reskin of the tech armor itself. I don't know for sure. It's definitely not tech armor, at least modern tech armor, what we have. HLNA exists, but this boss fight looks like it's going to be interesting with the headhunter there.
Stop them. I have already set my designs in motion. Our future awaits. Survivor.
Alright, so now this is what I'm going to key in on right here. So you can kind of see this is the that boss looking fight where you got the eye up in space. Now this makes me think it's going to be similar to Genesis 1 where you've got different unique biomes to kind of skip around to. But this guy exists somehow up in this like biome up in space where there's the other biomes as well. And then he obviously takes your head off. Now he's a cute little guy, kind of like the shapeshifter over on Genesis 1 where he can be between the two different things, large and small feroxes. But this guy's going to be interesting. I'm wondering if he's got some sort of like execution mode where if he latches on, you're dead. That would be crazy. Arks had never included something like that. So I wonder how that's going to work. Now, another thing I want to mention is this sort of view you see right here. I don't think this is going to be the new tech view, but it's possible, I guess, technically speaking, or HLNA view maybe. Cute little looking thing, but obviously deadly. Obviously, that's creepy. Obviously, you can see right here as well, Genesis cosmetics available now. So that's kind of interesting. I'm wondering if it's the tech suit cosmetic that is. I'm not entirely sure, but it's also possible that they introduce the cosmetic now and then have an alternate tech suit version later that's more achievable for lower level tribes. I think they'd like to do something like that, but who knows? Obviously, you have an announcement date, March 2021. I'd say realistically speaking, we're looking at April, but that's my thought process. Hold that for what you will. I'm excited. This trailer was amazing. They have some. I loved Genesis. I know a lot of people didn't, but to me, Genesis really kind of put Ark in a new direction, and that's interesting. The end is near also brings up the fact that it's entirely possible this is the last part 2 before they release Ark 2, which is why I think they're testing out all these unique ideas to bring us Ark 2 later in 2021. That's my thought. Now, that being said, Ark is an amazing game. I think there's lots of room to grow. Tell me what you think you'd like to see or remove, whatever it happens to be. And I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. I'm excited to play this Ark 2, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, Teach. How?